It is time to continue on with the prospect pool overviews today with the Florida Panthers. The Florida Panthers, I'm going to be blunt, probably have one of, if not the worst prospect pool in the entire National Hockey League. Yeah, you just look at their overall roster when it comes to their prospects. It's not good. The rankings, honestly, aside from maybe one or two players, is a bunch of guys that I didn't know about before I made this video. Again, like, I know I make the prospect pool overviews every single year, but Florida's pool, I mean, yeah, you have some guys who have been in it for a couple of years, but it pretty much fluctuates a lot. And Florida has limited draft picks every single year when they're picking high in the first and second and third round, or they're trading those picks away. So they get these fifth and sixth and seventh round picks where their scouts have to go out and find gems and guys who, can work out in that way. And that's how they continue being good for the next 10 or 15 or however many years we go on with this. So let's just hop right in. We're going to start off with Linus Eriksson. Linus Eriksson here. So he's a center. He is from Stockholm, Sweden. 6 foot, 190 pounds. He was drafted 58th overall in last year's draft. This past year, he had 2 points in 18 games played with Timrå IK in the SHL. He has good pace, some solid strength, and he has been working up the ranks the last couple of seasons. He was just drafted last year, so this is his first year outside of obviously being first drafted. Definitely has been a very solid player throughout his time playing in the SHL. It's just going to take some more time for him to work on his overall offense, but he's getting that experience out there in Sweden. He also scored 2 goals in the World Juniors, so that does matter, obviously. But yeah, Eriksson doesn't have that high of upside, but still could be a decent player in the NHL. Jack Devine up next. Had a pretty phenomenal year this past year with the University of Denver. Has been getting better every single year. He was born in Glencoe, Illinois. He is 6 foot, 181 pounds. He was drafted in the 7th round in 2022. He played 44 games with Denver, had 13 goals, 44 assists, 57 points. He is a compete player, and he was a solid part in Charlotte's Cup run. Obviously, as you can tell, played 7 games, had 5 points. Had some solid numbers there on their run to the Calder Cup championship. They obviously didn't win the Calder Cup, but still. And then you look at his numbers in Denver. Put up consistent numbers throughout. He was drafted in 2022 after his freshman year. He spent 3 more years there. And his numbers got better and better every single year. I think that does matter. It shows that this kid has some decent upside. I think realistically, though, like you see his numbers in the NCAA, I don't think he's going to put up those numbers in the NHL. I think he's more realistically going to be like a third line forward if he does meet his potential. But it's possible with him being in the AHL full time next year, we could see him playing games with the Panthers in 25-26. Next up then, Mads Kongsback Clevo. I believe I'm saying that right. I apologize if I am not. He is from Frederikshavn, Denmark. 6'2", 194 pounds, was drafted 112th in 2025. This past year with Frölunda HC J20, had some solid numbers, 42 games played, 14 goals, 29 points. He is like an above average two-way skater. From what I can tell, this guy has some decent things in his toolbox, but is lacking that big X factor that I was talking about last episode with, I think it was Asher Barnett with the Oilers. Just lacks that really star X factor to his toolbox. And I definitely think that he does have some solid stats regardless. He's put up good numbers in J20. He's going to take a couple of years to work through the ranks as Eriksson has and get up to there with the main team. But the expectation is he will play games for them this season. We could see this guy rise up the prospect boards a little bit. I'm not terribly high on him, though. I guess we shall see what happens. But Clivo, I've heard some positive things about when it comes to prospect rankings. But obviously, we'll have to see what happens there with him. He is in the Florida organization after all. So if he does get good, they could trade him. Next up, then, out of Moscow, Russia, we have Matvey Sharavin, 6'2", 172 pounds. He is a left shot defenseman, drafted 97th overall in 2024. Played 38 games with the Krasnova Armia in the, I think, Russian junior leagues. Had 24 points. He's nice and physical from what I can tell. He's a good puck mover. This guy I'm a little bit higher on. I think with him playing, obviously he's going to get the chance to play KHL games and all that. I think there's definitely some possibility that this guy does actually make it to the NHL eventually, but it's going to be a couple of years down the road. I don't think we're going to see him in the NHL tomorrow, so I just want to put that out there. He was drafted a year ago, but you typically see with, especially defensemen, Russian defensemen at that, they typically take a lot longer to develop. So we'll see what Sharavin does. We'll see what happens to him. He did play KHL games last year in his draft year, did not play any this year. I think that is of note, but obviously we shall see what happens to him in the next couple of years. Now, their prospect pool is not good when we're talking about a 7th round pick. That is not Jack Devine. Brendan Dunphy, coming out of the WHL, was a defenseman, a left shot D at that, from San Diego, 6'5", 207 pounds. Again, he was a 7th round pick. He played 47 games with Wenatchee Wild, had 22 points. Not terrible numbers there. He is a rangy and he's active as a defenseman. He's got good size. He's relatively young, as obviously a lot of these prospects are. He actually is an overager, I believe, if I'm looking at that correctly. So he is an overager +1. So not a bad year of Wenatchee. Came out of the BCHL last year. We'll see what happens with him. Overall, though, I'm not exactly sure what his upside is. But again, I guess we're going to have to see. With a lot of these prospects, it's going to take a ton of time, especially with these 7th round picks. It's just so hard to read where they are. So I really don't know a whole lot about Dunphy besides what I'm telling you. But I guess we'll see what happens with him in the future. Now looking at their goaltending prospect who was just drafted with the last pick in the 2025 draft, Yegor Midlak. Was actually Mr. Irrelevant for some people, if you refer to it as the NFL. Was born in Tver, Russia, 6'6", 176 pounds. He is a goalie. He played 4 games this past year with Spartak, had a 1.0-1, a 1.06, and a .941. He has a NHL body, but very limited experience. That's really what I know. Not a lot of info about this guy. Again, he was picked in the way later rounds of the draft, so you really don't know that much about this guy. But it's definitely interesting. We'll have to see what happens with him. Again, if he ever even makes it to the NHL, he is a monumentally long way down the road from it. So yeah, I really don't know a lot about this guy, which is why I'm going to leave it at that. Yegor Midlak, Mr. Irrelevant in this past year's NHL draft. Now looking at some of the other prospects in the pool, Shea Bush, a 4th round pick this past year, had 19 points in 39 games played with Everett. He is a left wing from North Vancouver. Shamar Moses, 5th round pick this past year, 48 points in 61 games played. Not bad numbers with North Bay. That's a guy to keep an eye on. Arvid Drott was a 6th round pick. He had 36 points in 40 games played with Jew Gardens in the U20 leagues. Did play alongside some of the top prospects. Grayson Sachin just wrapped up his 4th year in the WHL. 78 points in 54 games played. I do believe he is going to make the jump to the AHL next season. And then Simon Zether, who was playing SHL games this past year, had 1 point in 3 games with Rogel BK, and that's the other prospects in the pool. With that being said, here is your prospect rankings. It is not good. Just looking at the overall numbers here, this is a pool that should not surprise you where it ranks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would argue this is the worst prospect pool in the entire, National Hockey League. But thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video down below, and please do consider subscribing. Again, the Florida Panthers, not a good prospect pool, but a very good team. If this is your prospect pool after winning 2 straight Stanley Cups, going to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, yeah, I wouldn't be mad about the shape of the prospect pool currently. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.